Our group research question asks what potential exists to increase the level of renewables in Sydney's electricity supply to mitigate the impacts of climate change and uncertainty in future supply. Essentially, asking how Sydney can become less reliable on coal to create electricity, but rather rely heavily on natural renewable energy sources, which in turn create less greenhouse gas emissions, positively impacting climate change. This case study looks specifically at solar energy in Germany and how Germany has used solar energy to reduce the use of fossil fuels in order to not only reduce costs, but to protect the environment, targeting issues regarding climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. Solar energy in Germany, as a case study, directly relates to the research topic regarding Sydney's potential shift from coal-generated electricity to solar-harvested energy. Germany's urge to increase renewable energy levels throughout the country began as a result of the Fukushima disaster in Japan, which saw the explosion of the nuclear plant. Germany has aimed to eliminate nuclear power by 2023. The passing of the German Renewable Energy Act, the EEG, was implemented to harvest solar energy sources in order to reduce costs while improve the energy efficiency of the country over time, as well as to focus on the development of new technologies. As seen by the Germans, solar power positives seem to outweigh its negatives, especially in regards to issues concerning availability, sustainability, cost, location, and overall projected success. The German government's push for increased solar energy has successfully impacted the country as a whole. As of February 2015, 30% of Germany's electricity is generated by renewable energy sources, with a target of 35% by 2020 and 50% by 2030. 96% of energy produced in Germany is generated from solar sources, which places Germany as the highest solar energy provider in the world. There are a variety of barriers and solutions which were overcome in order to achieve the success of this solar movement. The greatest barrier faced by Germany was cost. With solar power having an expensive startup outlay, the government urged for investors to participate in the scheme. A feed-in tariff was introduced in order to create favorability in renewable energy investment through long-term contracts. This was seen to be the most cost-effective. The initial barrier of cost was successfully overcome through the solution of incorporating investors for finance and creating favorability in renewable energy investments. In addition to engaging investors, an EEG surcharge has also been introduced in Germany in order to disperse the cost of the solar panels amongst consumers. This was seen as an important step to create more transparency for the sale of solar energy, as essentially transmission system operators have to take the power from distribution system operators and have to sell it as a spot market value. Although the EEG surcharge has allowed for a more constant financial equalization throughout Germany, the cost of electricity in Germany is rising, and at 34 cents per kilowatt is one of the highest rates in the world. Germany has also faced challenges in regards to solar panel manufacturing due to China's cheap industrial trends. This has pushed Germany to develop new technologies which merges building glazing and tinted glass with solar technology. These new Heli-Tac panels have been developed in order to be integrated into building design with the intention of large high-rise glazing to be replaced with Heli-Tac panels in order to effectively harness solar energy. Currently being the highest solar energy provider in the world, there are a variety of lessons learnt in Germany which can be transferable directly into the Sydney of Sydney. Sydney has attempted to push for an increase in solar energy through tax-backed schemes, which are clearly not enough to drive the boom in solar panels. Much like Germany, feed-in tariffs, as well as creating favourable investments for investors, will successfully drive the solar panel growth in Sydney. If these tariffs are set up correctly, solar panels will be easily feasible for both large corporations with high-rise buildings, as well as common people with residential homes. In addition to tariffs, development laws should also be amended in order to ensure that all new developments, especially in the CBD, incorporate solar energy, whether this be using traditional solar roof panels or Heli-Tac panels incorporated into new building facades and glazing. Much like Germany, the Australian government should set up clear targets which aim to minimise dependency on fossil fuels. In doing this, residents will become increasingly motivated and informed about solar energy and its ecological and financial benefits, especially as prices of wholesale electricity will decrease due to the increasing reliance on solar power. Germany is a relatively cold, cloudy country in comparison to Australia, and if Germany could generate sufficient amounts of solar energy, then so could Sydney.